Specifically, as a man, you see the harms of the world in neon, so to speak, because of how much girls from a very young age have to navigate to have the best chance of being their whole full self by the time they're in it.
The contrast of it was what I thought was pretty interesting as well, because MAHERSHALA Ali is saying the things that a black man should be saying when it comes to in regard to his daughters and protecting his family and his children. But at the same time, I felt like Julia Roberts was saying something that I wish more black women would be saying.
You know, he's just really our anchor and our person, and in the most beautiful way, the captain of our ship, you know, truly. And it's not like giving it all away to him. It's just that for me, understanding how deeply felt life could be really started with him. Wow.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm your girl, Trish.
And I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
And we are
Black Press. Why are you laughing at me?
I was laughing at myself.
Oh.
That was kind of...
Okay.
Well, if this is your first time watching, we thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Hit the bell for notifications of all our upcoming episodes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then over to Mr. Define.
So, breaking news. Did you know Denzel was playing an ancient general in a new Netflix movie?
I just saw that on the news today. Yeah,
so apparently there's some controversy over that. Because he's the general for some ancient Tunisia general, and Denzel Washington, it says Denzel Washington being cast in Antoine Fuqua's upcoming Netflix movie as ancient Carthaginian general Hannibal. It sparked some controversy in Tunisia, the home country of the great military commander. It says that, according to the French newspaper Courrier International, there are complaints about depicting the Carthaginian general as a black African being made in media. Basically, they say that the actual general is supposed to be West Asian Semitic origin. Semitic being Hebrew speaking.
Well, they want him to speak Hebrew.
Well, that's what the term Semitic is. Like when you say anti-Semitic, it's anti-person that speaks Hebrew.
Okay. Because I was thinking, like, when you said West Asian.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of black people with Asian features, such as myself. Like, you can't just be specified or just class into one group.
Exactly, because ultimately, everybody came from us.
Yeah, we're a representation of everything and everyone. So
I think it's just very apparent how we had white Jesus forever. And nobody was like, nobody that was not our complexion was saying, hey, wait a minute. Jesus was dark skinned and had hair of wool. But when Denzel plays a role that some people think that he shouldn't be playing, it's like, oh, uproar. No.
Yeah.
Netflix is like, hey, we make a movie we want.
Exactly.
They can create whatever they want, but kudos to Denzel. Why?
Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor.
Honestly, if you got Denzel playing some general from your history, you should be honored.
Grateful. Yes.
You should be honored because that dude is going to play it to the T.
Yeah. And he's not just an actor.
Yeah.
Like, he studies his part.
Exactly.
He becomes that person. So it gives a great representation of who that person is.
Yeah.
So
ridiculous. People they're gonna always hate on us though. They're gonna always hate on us. And then actually I think it also shows some undertone of the fact that they don't the world is racist against black people. Bottom line. Blacks in the South America, blacks in the East Africa, everywhere. Blacks in Europe, there's racism over there too.
Yeah.
So bottom line, they gonna always hate on us. This is the way it is, but we climb through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So shout out to Denzel. Shout out to Netflix for that. Next up, what do you think? Comment, share it with somebody. What do you think? Talk about it. Next up, off that is okay. So I saw this on a reel and on the gram, and it said, "My friend mad at me because I told her daughter Santa isn't real, and her daughter believed me. I don't have kids, so did I cross boundaries?"
Yes, you did.
For real, because you asked me why the F you want to keep lying to your kid. Oh, so now that's the other part. See, you immediately said yes, but why you want to keep lying to your kid?
Because you gotta wait till they reach a certain age. Like there's a time and place for everything, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't always tell our children everything. You don't sit them down and be like, okay, this is this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that. So why do it with Santa Claus?
Because Santa Claus isn't real.
We know that. We know that.
Yes.
As adults.
And they know that
but why
too.
you want to break their dreams?
They know Santa Claus isn't real until you tell them Santa Claus is real. They have no idea.
It's all brainwashing and conditioning.
No, exactly. You're brainwashing your child from the time that they're born that Santa is some big fat dude is giving them gifts, but we're not teaching the real meaning of Christmas. You cannot, if you say Santa Claus is bringing them gifts, and you also teach them that the real meaning of Christmas is Jesus, you're teaching them two opposite of what Christmas is. And if you say no, why? How?
Because
okay,
when they're in school, when they're around like their little social circles and different things like that, everybody knows who Santa Claus is.
Yes, but is it right?
There's movies and stuff. Of course, it's not right because
but then you're teaching them the wrong thing.
The reason for the season is Christ, right?
Right.
However, I mean, nowadays people are like so far away from Christ that it's not common for people to be like Christmas is relative to Christ. Christmas nowadays is just a holiday of receiving, giving, and wanting something from somebody. Basically, it's like it's almost like Halloween.
Yeah,
with bows and pretty wrapping paper and stuff like that.
Okay, so if you're saying that, how do you feel about telling your child Santa doesn't exist?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard because when they're little, you don't want to break. It is,
and that
because it's how you bring them up. If you bring them up in like a Christ like center, like faith and the following and stuff, then that's fine. You can
that's more than fine. That's right.
Yeah, basically. So if you bring them up like that, cool. But if you bring them up and teaching them that Santa is real, and then all of a sudden you gotta sit them down, Santa Claus isn't real. The only reason I don't agree with having Santa Claus, I mean, let them know what Santa Claus is. It's just a fictionary person that some people think is real,
Yeah.
But the only reason I don't agree with Santa Claus is because there's some people that are in like, they're far off than they're poor. There's poor people that believe Santa Claus is real when Santa Claus doesn't. Yeah, I'm already tearing up. When Santa Claus doesn't come and there's no gifts and stuff on Christmas morning, then they're hurt, and that hurts them deeply.
Right. So if you never lie to them and tell them Santa Claus exists, they won't be hurt.
Yeah.
What you're saying is if you start the lie, then you have to continue the lie.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. That's so never start to lie, right?
It's
Boom.
better to never start it than to continue it.
What do
because-
y'all think? Do you think it's better? Well, obviously, we both agree it's better to never start to lie.
Yeah.
But do you think that you should even bring the whole myth of Santa Claus into the situation? Because you ended up actually shooting yourself in the foot
Mhm.
later. Instead of bringing them up saying that Christ being born is the reason for Christmas, and then they understand the entirety
Mhm.
of why they're gifts, because we're mimicking what the three wise men brought to Christ, even though it wasn't when he was born. But
Yeah.
so, what do you think? Put it in the comments. Do you think that she's wrong? Do you think she's right? And then why would you want your kids to think that some white fat man with a
It's
beard
breaking in the house.
is breaking in the house and giving them gifts, taking all of your glory? Why are you giving Santa Claus your glory? You worked hard for that. You need to let them know. Next up is hit the like button. Hit the like button. Next up, I want to talk about some things that you might not have heard about the awesome prosecutor that's prosecuting Donald Trump. Here it is.
Afternoon by the Fulton County DA's office aimed at helping former felons get back on their feet. DA Fonnie Willis says her team conducted a complete review for a number of residents with prior felony arrest or convictions. Their goal was to find individuals that are eligible to have their criminal records removed, which could make it easier for them to find jobs and also housing.
Let's say we can't restrict your record, but you have an open case. We have our diversion team here, and so we're placing people into diversion. So again, a way not to be formally prosecuted, but give back your debt to society and make sure that you can go on with your life.
Two Fulton County Superior Court judges were also in attendance to help expedite the process of having their criminal records.
So she's doing more than just prosecuting Young Thug and Donald Trump. And I think we need to. Sometimes we don't pay attention to a lot of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said a couple of weeks ago, Fanny. I mean, when you grow up with a name like Fanny,
Mm-hmm.
you learn how to fight.
Yeah.
And that's why they need her in those prosecution of Trump. But I mean, for one, Trump needs to be prosecuted same
Mhm.
way all the black men and women have been prosecuted for even much smaller things. But I mean, that's what we really need to be excelling at,
Yeah.
because we can do all the rap and music and art, but if we ain't doing nothing in the legal systems,
Mm-hmm.
we're never going to get anything done.
True. Yep. She's creating positive change,
Mhm.
and that's what we want to see.
Hold
so.
people accountable for their actions,
Yeah.
but once they serve their time, let them be productive citizens and live a happy life. I mean, just because you did some time, you did something illegal, even if you went down for federal time,
Mhm.
like, you should still be able to live a good, happy life after you're out, not be
Very true.
hindered because of the record that you already have. It's not, especially like I was saying with a record of habits,
Mhm.
it's not like you're still doing that.
Yeah.
Once you got caught, maybe you stop. Maybe you were reformed. But to say that you're not reformed just because you have that conviction is just thought wrong. So shout out to Fannie Mae Willis. I still can't say her name without wanting to laugh. But shout out to her. So next along, we're just gonna keep it on rolling along. So okay. Here's this thing that's happening. This is why I found this movie funny though, because
Mhm.
as black people, I don't mess with the ocean.
But I like the ocean.
I like to look at it.
I love whales. Like if I can go and see like a whale like up close and touch it,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's when you're on a boat though.
But I still want to touch it.
Yeah, but you're on a
Okay.
boat.
I'll go in the water. And touch
I
it.
ain't even the whale though, it's different because it's like, okay, they eat the little fish.
It's scary though. If
Yeah.
when you
Oh, for real. Like I ain't messing with them dolphins. They too aggressive.
orcas.
Orcas really aggressive.
I want to.
But at least
go to,
orcas eat shark.
Yeah, I want to go see where I'm touching.
Yeah, ain't getting no water. I'm not getting in no water with all that stuff. And most of us are like that. Down in the Bahamas, though, it's still more another shark attack happened, and I wanted to talk about that, about how we be wondering.
She suffered serious injuries to the right side of her body, including the right hip region and also her right upper limb.
Police say a lifeguard from the popular Sandals Resort responded in a rescue boat, getting the pair out of the water and administering CPR as they came back, but the woman didn't survive. Sandals Resort's writing, "We wish to express our heartfelt condolences to the guest's family and loved ones. The shocking sequence, the second fatal shark attack in about 48 hours, following this horrific scene on Malake Beach on Mexico's Pacific coast, where eyewitness videos show a woman being pulled from the water, her leg apparently severed. A local official telling the Associated Press the 26-year-old mother was bitten while swimming with her child near a floating play structure like this, moving her daughter to safety before the shark came for her. Still, unprovoked shark bites are quite rare, and fatal attacks even more so. The International Shark Attack File noting 5 deaths in all of 2022. The Bahamas, though, has now experienced 2 shark-related deaths and another presumed fatality in just over a year.
In most cases, it seems to be mistaken identity where the human just happens to be unfortunate enough to be swimming or in the water in a place where the shark was feeding on something else.
But some swimmers say they're not deterred.
I'm here to enjoy the water, so I'm going to jump in.
A modern island paradise coexisting with the threat of an ancient predator.
And when it comes to the rate of shark attacks, it turns out that's been pretty steady over the course of decades. The main difference right now is the population has grown, meaning there are just simply more people in the water. Back to you.
Right, Sam, thank you.
I'm not doing it. I ain't messing with that water.
Swimming in there?
Yeah. Like, I'll go in the ocean, and I'll go up the waist deep. I might go up the chest deep, but I'm not doing the swimming thing. I did it for an experience. I did it back when I was like 21.
Yeah.
Down there at Daytona Beach, and I was swimming, and
you felt something brush you?
No. Just the fact that when I decided I'm gonna swim back to shore, I was 100 meters and I was down the shore. Like by the time I made it back to shore, I had to walk back to my towel and stuff. That if I'm getting moved while I'm trying to swim back, I'm not playing with that water.
Yeah.
Like I love to watch it. It's awesome.
It is.
It's a beautiful creation of God. Watching it, and the water continue to flow. But I'm not messing with that water, not that current, and I definitely ain't messing with nothing that got sharks in it.
I had 2 instances in the ocean water.
Really?
One time,
brush with a shark?
Well, no, not with a shark. But I was in there, and then I felt something brush against my leg, and I totally freaked out.
What was it?
I don't know. I think it was a jellyfish. It had to be a jellyfish.
Yeah.
I had the marks on my skin.
Yeah.
Well, I ran out, so I got out that water so fast.
Yeah.
And I was petrified. And then another time, the current it started picking up.
Yeah.
And I was trying to swim.
That's what I'm saying. That current is ridiculous. I'm not messing with it.
Way off. I was like, ooh. And then the waves was coming and slapping me on my head.
Exactly. I'm not doing it. It's too much. It's too much.
I went all the way to the bottom, and I just
have a floaty or something. If my feet are not touching the bottom of the ocean floor, I'm out too far.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. It's insane.
Like,
I'm not willing to risk my
like
life.
Soup.
Yeah. A really big soup. But I was looking it up, and it says that on Business Insider, shark attacks are one of the most notoriously feared dangers to beach-going humans, especially us Black people. But how likely is it that you'll actually get bitten? 1 in 3.75 million chance, according to International Wildlife Museum.
But you don't want to be that one.
Exactly. The chances are lower than the possibility of dying by a lightning strike, firework accident, or a stroke. So
you know,
why are we so afraid of sharks?
Even though it's shark, you ever swam in a lake?
Yeah.
You know it's alligators in there, right?
Yeah.
And you just take the chance anyway.
No, I don't swim in lakes that got alligators.
But you don't know, it's alligators in lakes.
Yeah, in some lakes, but not in all lakes. most lakes.
They be
You know how
in
many
there ready to
lakes are
get
in
you.
this country?
They be in there ready
You know how
to
many
get you.
lakes are in this country that don't have alligators?
We used to swim in the lake when we were younger.
Yeah.
And come to find out, it's alligators in there.
Yeah, but alligators also, I mean, every animal, every animal is only going to eat or attack something that it believes it can consume. So when you're splashing in the ocean, it's like they think you're a fish, and then most likely a dying fish that they can consume easier. Yeah, it's low hanging fruit. Here's the thing, though, and this is what I want to correlate it to. If we, as Black people, can understand, I'm not going in that ocean because I might get bit, and I don't want to be that 1 in 3.75 million people, right? I don't want to be that 1 in 3.75 million people. Why are we willing to do this? The pull-out method effectiveness. Pulling out isn't a very reliable way to prevent pregnancy. It works about 78% of the time, which means that over a year of using this method, 22 out of 100 women, about 1 in 5 would get pregnant. That's over 20%. By comparison, male condoms are 98% effective when used correctly every time. So, if we're not willing to risk getting in the ocean where there might be sharks in the area, and we are 1 in 3.75 million, 1 in 3.75 million chance of getting bitten by a shark. Why are we willing to try the pull-out method and think that's gonna work?
Because people like risks. They like to take risks.
No. They don't.
They don't care about the
Your
consequence.
responses, yo.
No, but
But if we're
serious.
talking
They
about
don't.
risk, then why not go swim in the ocean where it could be sharks? Why not go skydiving? Why not go do stuff that's actually risking your life? Because you just want to take the risk on these things that could ruin, or could cause great effect to your life for 18 years plus.
Yeah.
I just saying, if we're going to use reason to say, leave that to the white people, why don't we leave some other things to those other races as well, like the pull-out method?
I agree, but that's how they rationalize the decisions they make.
They rationalize it by saying they like to take risks.
Yeah,
they're stupid for thinking that.
Is you only live once? There was a whole thing?
Then
of
do
YOLO.
all the other stuff.
Yeah,
jump out of airplanes, rock climb, swim in the ocean with sharks. If you're not doing all that other stuff, which could be considered stupid, then why are you willing to choose the one thing that is more likely, that is 22% likely of you ending up with an 18-year choice when you think you're too risky to do other stuff? Come on, bro. I just want us to use, if we're gonna use logic in all of the areas of our life. We don't use it at all. Don't reason why you do something stupid over here, but say I'm not going to do something stupid over there.
We need some scientists to create some birth control for these men. Besides,
there's actually studies going on for that.
Yeah. Besides the
see, but here's the
male
thing.
contraception.
Here's the thing. What's to say that he won't forget to take the pills as well?
Then he got to deal with that consequence.
He's already dealing with the consequence. And he's dealing with a consequence that once he ejaculates, he has no control anymore of what happens with his finances, his time, his life. Might as well swim with sharks. That's all I'm saying. Go to the Bahamas, go swim with sharks. Go to Mexico, go swim with sharks. That, if you're gonna do, if you're going to lose a great portion of your financial income for the rest of your life, why not go get your leg bit off? What's the difference? You got a better chance of surviving in the ocean than you do at surviving the pull-out method. So, I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. So, hey, hit the like button. Comment on that. What you think? Do you think it's smarter to use the pull-out method than to use than to swim with in the ocean that might have sharks around? Are you willing to take the risk? Are you willing to take the risk on one and not the other? Which one are you willing to take the risk on? Or are you risk adverse to all of it?
You want your leg bit? You want to get bit by?
bit by the government, putting you on child support.
Yeah.
Which is actually a violation of my body, my choice. But we're not gonna go into that.
But child support.
Yes, child support is a violation of my body, my choice. Because I'm doing the physical labor to make that income that you're taking from me. So you're violating my choice to do with my body what I want. I want to do with my body to make the income and go spend the money in my own way. That's because I am putting my body into the work. My body, my choice. Strike that from the comments. I didn't say that. Anything else for the day? That you, I mean, that other thing.
The movie?
Oh, yes.
Good movie.
Yes. Okay. So it was a good movie.
I have so much to say about that movie.
This movie is called Leave the World Behind on Netflix. It was really good.
It was. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was starring Ethan Hawke, Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali. Black dude putting it down for us. Even though I think he might be British or from the UK, but hey, he still do great things. But if you haven't seen it, it's like number 2 or something on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
We watched it the other day. It was great. But other than saying it was a good movie, which was very indicative of what is possible to happen to us here in America. So watch it. If you don't know nothing, but watch it for educational purposes. So you understand that the way things are going right now, we are on the brink of World War III. And all the experts say it. Russia's experts, China's expert. I mean, everybody. But also, the reason why it's important for us is because we as Black people, especially having a larger population of unemployed men, there is a very deep deficit of enlisted soldiers, Marines, airmen, seamen across all branches of the military. So when the war comes and that draft comes, they're going to be hitting up for us.
Yeah.
They're going to be hitting us. So we need to be paying attention to what's going on, because if you think it doesn't affect you, it does affect our entire community, especially because we're a smaller population. But that's another subject. What I wanted to talk about is, so Julia Roberts and Mahershala Ali were doing this run across the TV stations and interviews about the movie and everything. And Mahershala said something that was very indicative of the times that we're in, because it was talking about what we actually are supposed to be doing as Black men.
Sense of the things that matter in life. But I think that it becomes more articulate when you have a child. And I think when you have a daughter specifically, as a man, you see the harms of the world in neon, so to speak, because of how much girls from a very young age have to navigate to have the best chance of being their whole full self by the time they're in.
So that's what he was talking about. It reminded me of Malcolm X saying, when he was saying that the most unprotected person is the Black woman, which I could debate on, but it's very obvious that a good Black father is definitely seeing those risks and those dangers in neon that could happen to his daughter, especially with what we know now. And I'm not saying that it wasn't happening then, but that's why I say what we know now is how easy it is to happen. And I thought that was very interesting for him to talk about his daughters like that. When I had my son first, I was able to recognize just the things that they have to deal with now. But it is very, very much true that women have to go through a lot. Even with my studies for teaching, the adolescent mind, especially for women, for females, is very vulnerable because there's so much that you guys they're trying to take in and trying to sometimes emulate that could cause them harm. And then there's external sources that could cause them harm physically. So I thought that was really good. The contrast of it was what I thought was pretty interesting as well, because Mahershala Ali is saying the things that a black man should be saying when it comes to in regard to his daughters and protecting his family and his children. But at the same time, I felt like Julia Roberts was saying something that I wish more black women would be saying.
She's heck about them. I feel like you're home.
Well, it all starts with Danny Motor. You know, he's just really our anchor and our person, and in the most beautiful way, the captain of our ship, you know, truly. And it's not like giving it all away to him. It's just that for me, understanding how deeply felt life could be really started with him.
Wow.
Get her a tissue.
I love.
So on one end, we saw Mahershala Ali. He was saying everything that we feel like a black man should be saying. But on the other end, Julia Roberts was saying something that we rarely hear black women say, but that we would like to hear. So, what do you think about that?
I think it's important to identify qualities that you see in the man, especially when it comes to like honoring and cherishing them and letting them know that you appreciate them and that you see them and the work that they're doing. Especially when you have like young girls growing up, so that they can see and you're the example. So you're showing them how to be. And it's not just about giving praise and stuff like that, but it's more so about showing your heart. Like, show me how you actually like really feel. Like, tell me in words.
Yeah.
But because a lot of times, women show in, like, we're very expressive when we're mad.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yes. But when it comes to expressing, we tend to cover or hide those things because it makes us vulnerable. And if you're not with a person that makes you feel protected, then you don't reveal certain things to them for fear that it'll come back and haunt you, or they'll throw it back at you. Yeah. So a lot of times they're guarded, and it's just survival.
Yeah,
I say two things. I say thriving and surviving, and glowing and growing.
Yeah, when
you're thriving and surviving, you're just figuring out day by day how to survive and get through that day.
But thriving is more of a doing well.
It is, but you're still in survival mode.
Yeah.
So it's just a cycle that's going over and over and over. And then I say glowing and growing. I'm glowing means my light is shining from within, and I'm growing. So I'm learning. I'm taking what I learned, and I'm branching out. I'm not just like stagnant and stable.
Yeah.
You know?
So what do you think about? So I think it's a little bit different. You're going more for what the praise of a partner. But I think it's a little bit deeper than that, though. I think a lot of black women don't actually, in their eyes, have a man that is worthy of the praise.
Yeah.
And especially the way Julia Roberts was talking about it is they don't have a man that they feel holds the household together. And it makes me wonder, like, is it because they don't, that man isn't actually there, or that man is not able or allowed to be the glue?
The man doesn't show up for them in the ways that they need. That's why a lot of that's why there's so many Black women in the church, because they're able to hold the higher being to a higher extent.
Yeah.
But their father failed them, their uncle failed them, their brother. They don't have anybody to look up to, say role model, or somebody to emulate and say that that's the man I want, that's the man I need.
Yeah.
They don't have you basically don't have like the basic standards and needs. You find that in your home, the basic standards and needs of a man. Then you go out and then you learn other things. Like who knows a man, like how to please him and stuff like that. It's not just about like being there for them and stuff. You there's things that you have to learn basically, but you have to learn it at different stages in life.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we just don't get that.
I think it's funny that you mentioned that women go to church for that higher being who can be perfect.
Yeah.
But I think another reason, and I've held it, I don't know if I've said it before, but I think a reason that women go to church and is willing to accept and be under a submission to God and to Jesus Christ is the man is not, there's not a lot of men that are submissive to Christ. So if she wants to submit to Christ and you are unwilling to submit to Christ, a lot of men that don't go to church, they want the woman to be submissive to them while they're submissive to no one.
Yeah.
So if she wants to be submissive to Christ and you're not willing to be that middleman in between her and Christ so that she can submit to you and let you be the leader, then why would she let you lead if you can't lead her the way that she needs to be led, which is under the love of Christ? And so as men continue to say, well, I'm not going to church, they just want my money. Well, she's in the church because she wants to submit to something greater than her.
Exactly.
And if you're not even in the church, how could you be greater than her for her to submit to? So that's a very good point. And then also, I just don't think that women are doing so well. Not all women, because women would like to say that the statistics are saying that women are doing great. But because of the fact that women outnumber men, there are some women doing great and a lot of women doing not great. But the women that want to be with somebody that's a leader, if the woman is a leader, you got to be doing really great for her to want to even follow you.
Yeah.
Because every woman says, I want a man that can teach me something. I want a man that can lead. And honestly, there's a part of a woman that they don't actually want a man to lead them in a direction that they're not already wanting to go.
Yeah.
But there still has to be some level of leadership that makes you a leader that it can lead her at a certain level. Because if she already got her ducks in a row, she already got all the things that she needs in her plans in life, then what are you doing that's adding to guiding her and leading her? And is she receptive to being led is another issue. Because as I think there are some women that are not receptive to being led.
Because women want to know where you taking this.
Exactly.
Like if you are wanting to be in a position to be a leader, you have to show like certain qualities.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be like, all right, I'm macho man and I'm gonna lead you. Like where you leading me to? Like I already have this plan for my life. I already have this thing that I'm doing, this direction that I'm going. Like some people's work can speak for themselves, and you can see that they have a clear plan of life, where they want to go, and they have things outlined.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have those men that are just now coming into their self and just now figuring out life.
Yeah.
And just now navigating through different obstacles and stuff. Then they want to say, okay, I'm the leader. I'm head of household.
Yeah, they ain't did nothing, but they a leader.
Exactly.
You cannot be a leader if you have no experience.
Yeah.
And
it takes experience to be a leader.
There's some men out there that want to be the leader of the household, but what have you actually experienced when it comes to leadership?
Mm-hmm.
But then also, is a woman, and I said receptive, but dang, you were talking, I forgot what I was thinking. I was listening to you, so I forgot what I was thinking about.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I think that's just another topic that we're gonna have to continue to talk about, because there is a very big divide between the black man and the black woman.
Yeah.
And
it's like playing catch up. Like black men are so far behind because they're in the system.
Tell the truth. The black men are so far behind. But yeah, the black men are so far behind because they haven't seen black men that have showed them how to do it.
That too, because they're in these systems.
Yeah, in this system.
Yeah. So it's hard for them to like get up to a point to where they're like, okay, I'll be your leader.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. It was the trust thing, though, because it still goes back to there's a dual responsibility. The man has a responsibility to learn how to be a leader, but the woman has a responsibility to choose a man that she's willing to be led by.
But how do you learn how to be a follower?
You said it all.
No, but I'm saying,
trust.
Like, how do you learn how to be a follower?
How do you learn how to be a follower? You give yourself a choice. You have to put yourself in a position where you don't have a choice but to be led.
Yeah.
And that should be vows. Like when they say love, honor, respect, and then like that one video where the bride would not say obey. What? So, and I'm gonna finish this, and I'll just say what I used to, because you have to. And what I say has to be no choice. It's because when you're in a job, in the military, in any circumstance where you're depending on somebody else or some business for that support, you have to. You don't have a choice but to let that person that's over you lead, because that is the only way that you're going to continue working under that system.
So with that being said, black women do better in survival mode being followers. Because when that's why I always say thriving and surviving. When they're thriving, you're good. You don't need anybody to lead you or do anything. But when you're in survival mode and you're trying to like get through life, you need somebody to show you the way, and that's where your leader comes, right?
No, because a woman that's doing well still needs somebody that can lead. She wants somebody that can lead.
But they have to show like certain characteristics. They have to have that background.
And that's what I said. It goes like the trust.
Resume.
That's why I said it was the trust. Men have a responsibility to become leaders. Women have the responsibility to choose to be with a man that can lead her. The problem is, there's a lot of women choosing to be with a man that is not capable of leading her, yet she stays with him because she, like we said before, does not like to be alone.
Yeah.
Don't want to be alone, so I'll get with a man that I know is not a leader, and that I know I'm not going to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And then we end up with a perpetual cycle of not having men in the household because they haven't learned to be leaders, and women have chosen them to make children with without actually verifying and testing that they're a leader. We all got to do better.
Men and women.
Yep. So what are your thoughts on leadership? What are your thoughts on these relationships? Comment, share it with somebody. Tell us what you think so that we can respond.
Kelsey, but she's had about them.
So that we can respond. We'll talk about it. That's all we got for today, right? All right. So with that being said, like, comment, share. I don't know. What did I look like you that? I was looking up.
It was the accent.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start over.
With that being said,
like, comment, share, and
subscribe.
I'm your girl Trish.
Fine.
And we are
we are Black Press.
It's been a while. We haven't done this in a minute. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.